All righty, we are live, guys.
All right.
Hello there.
Hey there.
We have a very special guest today, Elizabeth.
We have a very special guest wait to end out the week, which I don't even know what day it is most days, but it's a great wait on Friday, and I'm excited to have you here.
I always have to check my phone before we say the day, but it is Friday, and on this awesome Friday, we are here together with Dave Conord, President of Growth at eXp Realty. Thank you for coming on board and sharing a conversation with Elizabeth and I.
Yeah, I love hanging out with you guys, so I'm excited to be here. I appreciate the invitation.
So tell everybody where you're from, where you are in the nation, and a little bit of your background.
Yeah, sure thing. So, it's funny. I lived most of my life in Maryland, in the Annapolis, Severna Park area, living on the water, play lacrosse and go out and catch crabs and all that kind of stuff. So I still think of myself as being a Marylander, but for the last 8 years, I've lived outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. So still kind of a mid-Atlantic East Coast boy. It's our stomping grounds up here. And so we're up here. It's starting to sort of warm up a little bit outside. We've got some sunshine and we're starting to see some days in the 60s and 70s. So we're waiting for spring to arrive. I know you guys are, Elizabeth, and I'm sure you're probably already sweating out there. And Renee, you're in the warmth all the time.
We are. We're already in the pool. We're good.
Yeah, your description of warm and ours might be a little different.
Right.
So
Right. That's a good point.
Have you been running a lot, Dave?
I have. And I've got a rule. If it's above 30 degrees, I wear shorts when I go running because it's, I run year round. And so, out here above 30 degrees, it's kind of warming up. And, yesterday it was about 52, sunny, but really windy. And I was in tank top and shorts out running with my daughter. So we got a couple miles in.
I'm originally a Michigan girl, so that shouldn't be a big deal for me, but I've lived in Orlando now for 2 decades, so I have Florida blood. Florida blood, very thin.
It doesn't take long. I go to Florida for a week and I'm done. I'm used to it already.
Yeah, in Wyoming, same thing. We wear shorts to school in the snow, and now I look back, I'm like, who was that person? Because if it's below 70, I'm usually cold.
Yeah. Well, Austin's got great weather, so I love it there.
Well, we're excited to have you with us. Lots going on this week. I know you've been on, you've been on calls and Zoom calls and things going on. So we'd love to pick your brain a little bit about what you're seeing.
Yeah, sure thing. Definitely a lot of movement out there. It's incredible, even though some markets have slowed down, some are still super hot. So, we of course cover, at eXp, we cover the entire country and then Canada and across UK and Australia. And so all the markets are a little bit different. And of course, real estate being hyper local, you've got pockets that are still moving, price ranges that are still moving. We heard today from one of our agents out in California who, they've got a kind of, stay in place orders out there. However, they're using all our virtual tours and all the virtual tools and tech tools to still close deals. So she said, hey, I just had 4 closings, just took a couple more listings. We're doing virtual open houses and all of that. So a lot still going on. We're keeping up really closely with the mandates from all the governors and all the different states, and it keeps changing. So they shut things down, and then the next day or even that afternoon, they come through and say, okay, real estate's now essential, so you can resume these activities, but not those. Amazing brokerage team and legal team have been keeping track of those things and making those adjustments. So we've been, as a company, watching to see how to help our agents do as much business as possible in a way that is safe for themselves and their clients, and following all the rules, but keeping business going. There are still people that need to buy and sell and have other things going on in their lives, and it's our job to serve them the best that we can.
Our market has been deemed essential, as is Elizabeth. So we've been operating, and what I find really important is for those that have been deemed essential to realize that there are still housing needs that are transacting. Our market, we've had closings, we've had showings and listing appointments, and we're doing all of these things 100% virtually. So we're still navigating. The people, the buyers and the sellers that are in the marketplace right now are seriously in the marketplace because they have a true need right now to make a move. And so it's great for us to have all the tools to be able to serve them.
Yeah, it really is. It's the time now, and we were talking earlier, and I keep mentioning, going back to, I keep joking that I should get a royalty from Spencer Combs for pushing his Who Moved My Cheese book that's been around forever. But just the concept of that book being that, and we saw this in the major change in the market back in 2007, 2008, where people got up one day and it didn't exist anymore. It was just what was there before was not there any longer. And what I heard oftentimes from agents that I would interact with was that they were just going to wait for it to come back, right? Okay, it stopped, and so it's going to come back, so I'm going to wait for it. And we know it took a long time. It took a long time to come back, and it never really, in some markets, didn't come back to where it had been. However, there were lots of people that were highly successful in real estate, even that following year. But the folks that stuck their head in the sand and said, okay, either we're going to wait or I'm going to keep doing the things that I was doing in hopes that they keep working, are going to find themselves not getting the same results. And so on the one hand, we want to face the reality of what we're looking at and see those things. And of course, follow all the orders and let's flatten the curve. Let's all do what we need to do and do our part so that we can get past this and get this behind us and protect the safety of those that are in danger. However, don't just sit around and wait, right? This is a great time to be, if you are stuck either inside or with the less ability to do some of the things that you could do before, spend those times, invest those times wisely, and be focused in on driving your business and building your business and building your database. I mean, all the things that you need to do to prepare yourself to be in communication with your sphere of influence and all of your contacts in your database, build out your database, et cetera. But there's so much that we can be doing right now to be preparing and to be building our business and to be capturing whatever business is there to help those that do have a real estate need right now, despite the conditions. And so that's that opportunity. So one of the things that we've been really proud of is just the mobilization of the agents that we've seen to say, hey, you know what? Let's go after it and let's learn. And people like yourselves who are out there doing a ton of business and seeing it faster, right? You've had to be agile and adjust really quickly because you both have so much business going on, right? You're working with a lot of clients. And so when things change, you don't have a lot of time to react, right? You have to make decisions quickly. And so you guys have had the chance to see that and to work with your clients and to work with the market and see what's going on and figure out what's happening. Whereas agents who are maybe only closing a few deals a year or a few deals a month aren't running into those issues as quickly as you guys are, right? And so what's cool is you all then take that information of what you're finding and you turn around and hand it to the people behind you, right? So we're lifting up the other agents and saying, hey, we've already gone down this road. We know where the potholes are, right? We're going to point them out to you so you don't run into them. We're going to share with you how to adjust to the market and what you can do so that everyone else can then take that information and drive their business forward.
That's great advice. And the way you worded that was perfectly is don't wait. Don't wait for it to come back. It being what once was a few weeks ago might not even come back the same way we think.
Right.
Re-entry into whatever the next phase is, no one knows exactly how that's going to process. So I hadn't quite thought of it like that, Dave, but I think that's a really important point for agents to focus on is don't wait for it to come back. It is now. This
Right.
is what we're in. It's today.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
get into action. Can you go back to, you mentioned 07, 08, 09. You were in a different place then. Can you talk to us and share a little bit about what you experienced at that time and where you were at in your real estate career?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the time I was in real estate franchising, right? So I owned a number of real estate franchises across several different states, a couple thousand agents that worked for us across the various franchises. And then eventually during that time as well, I took over running a regional franchise for a national real estate company. So we had 42 offices and 7,000 agents in that group, in addition to the other ones that where I was either an operating partner or an owner in the other group. So we had a lot of agents and we covered a lot of different markets. And when that shift happened, some of them were brand new, right? Some of these were were brand new. One of them we had opened about a month prior, just a couple of weeks prior to, waking up one day and finding the faucet had just been turned off, right? And the market was gone. And it was a really interesting time to go through. But the need to adjust quickly was there, right? Both for our agents. I mean, our agents in that capacity, where, in my role now, I spend a lot more time working with staff, right? I spend a lot of time working with our leadership teams and developing our programs and doing all that kind of stuff. I do obviously get a chance to interact with our awesome agents as often as possible, but I'm not quite, at that level where I'm working every day with our agents and their business. But at that time, I had the opportunity to do that, and I really enjoyed that. But it's also very painful when you watch people that you care about. You're right there with them as they go through that change, and I literally would have people coming into my office in tears, fearful of how they were going to take care of their family and how they were going to keep their house and their car and all of those things. It was the real deal. And so we looked at those things, and our commitment was that, we are going to protect these people any way we can. And we're going to look at the realities of the situation and say, how do we adjust? How do we figure out how do we got into this distressed properties and, BPOs and short sales and REOs and everything else. And we trained our agents on those types of transactions and how to build relationships with the banks and everything else, and how to grow their business from there. Capture whatever business was there. Look at what business is there. Look at what's happening with the market. Make some projections on where it's going, and then get to where the market is going. Right. So if you're always trying to keep up, then the one constant is change. Right. It's always moving. Our market is always changing. I was teaching a class yesterday, which was really fun. I got back into teaching a class, and I was talking about business foundations and how to structure your business and how to prepare it for the market ahead. And one of the things we talked about was, average sales price for a lot of agents is literally just that. It is take the total volume that you sold divided by your number of units, and there's your average sales price. And it's more often by default than by a plan. And so we talk about that as an area where you can choose your average sales price by where you're going to market, who you're going to work with, and everything else. And so many people think that, well, if I'm going to do something to change average sales price, the best thing to do is go up, right? I want a higher average sales price. And there is some logic behind the fact that there's typically higher average sales price, higher commissions, you're making more money for less work. So there's some logic behind that. But what we need to understand is what's happening in the market. Which homes are going to be moving? You may be better served at a lower sales price. I say if you have multiple rivers going, you want to jump into the most swiftly moving river, right? Where you're going to capture the most opportunity. And so studying the market and understanding what's moving, where's going? Maybe the upper bracket homes are going to be sitting on the market right now, and you're going to be stuck with a bunch of listings that you're pouring money into marketing that won't move, right? I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just stating that as an example. Right.
That's a very important example to point out.
Sure. Yeah. So understanding where the market is going and what's moving and being very purposeful right now. Data is your friend. So, get into studying the market and look at what's happening out there. Listen to the predictions, but look at the numbers. As realtors, we have access to the data. We can see what's happening, track the trends, track what's happening over time to get an understanding of what's moving, see how the current situation is impacting the market and who is still able to move, what's happening with anything that the government is doing, and who that might be helping and who is most likely to be able to move. If there are large changes in what's happening with employment, then are different companies downsizing, upsizing. Companies are going to thrive in this current market because their services are needed. Look at Zoom, for example, right? Their stock is up quite a bit. So all of those kinds of utilities and services and companies, grocery stores, may be doing very well right now. Toilet paper companies are probably thriving. who is going to be staffing up, who is going to be staffing down, and how does that change patterns? If I would be looking at what are the long-term effects of something like this when we have companies that are now working at home and realizing that this works pretty well. There has been a trend toward telecommuting, right? Towards working from home. Companies have started to move outside of cities and locate into more remote areas. There have been flex hours that have been put into place as well. And I think that as we have this extended time where companies see that this works pretty well, I know at eXp, our headquarters is in Washington State. I've never actually seen it. So I haven't needed to go there. We meet virtually in our cloud offices, and we've been doing that for a decade. So other companies are seeing now this opportunity and how this works and how well it works. And I do believe that we're going to see a trend for companies to realize how much cost savings they can have. I mean, that's part of what drove us to do this as a company, is to not have the overhead of the bricks and mortar and all of the management teams needed to have each location. I think other industries are going to see that. If that's the case, what does that do for the patterns of where people live? People live around where they work right now, and a lot of times those locations have been in large cities. What happens when workers can work from anywhere? All of a sudden, people select where they live based on where they want to live. That might be where family is. That might be in the climate that they want to live. It might be near, like they want to live in the mountains or in the, by the water or whatever it is. But all of a sudden, I believe that we're going to see a change in the patterns of where people live all around the country and all around the world. And what will that do? Will we see an exodus from cities when that happens? I don't know. But the bottom line is there will be a far-reaching impact from all of this. And so being prepared is our best action right now, is to start looking ahead.
It's interesting that you bring up people are going to live where they want to as opposed to where they need to, right? But right. I also think about the productivity of those employees, the happiness level, if you will, right? And that now they have more, I don't want to say balance, but they have more flexibility in what they're able to do. They might be more productive. And so I think you're right. I think employees are going to see what we're doing or what we've been doing is actually more advantageous for them in the long run, and can make not only their companies more profitable and productive, but the individuals as well. So it's kind of interesting. You also mentioned about how we are national and how all the different states, I didn't even think about that, right? I've been so hyper-focused on my market and what Austin is doing and what Texas is doing. I didn't even think about what you and Stacy and our leadership staff are having to deal with and juggle with all of the states, right? And so I just have to applaud you guys, because one of the things we've been very, very, you guys have been very much in front of us all, communicating well, keeping us all up to date. And I think I was taking that for granted just because business as usual, but not even realizing all that you're handling in the background. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. And that makes me feel good that from where you're sitting, it looks very seamless and that we're just business. It is.
Yeah, but agility is one of the things that we're good at. And I mean, I love, and I want you to talk about this. I mean, you and Curtis jumped into action and put this amazing Excel training. It's funny when I say Excel, they're like, the spreadsheet. I'm like, no. The training. But you guys jumped into action and you put this amazing training together that what's great is in our downtime, I'm able to jump in and I'm getting so much from it, right? And I love to teach, and Renee loves to teach, and we love to share. But now we're getting to learn from some amazing talent from around the country, and you guys pulled that together in lightning speed. It's pretty impressive.
It's been a fun thing to put together. And the one thing that I've learned is, talent never stops learning, right? I mean, the people that are succeeding at the highest level are there because they're lifelong learners. You've heard it said, I'm sure, a million times that, you never want to be the smartest person in the room. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? So surround yourself with other people. There are going to be times where you're going to be the expert, and that's good because you want to be sharing your expertise with others, and you guys are doing that. You're on our schedule to be teaching for us, to be sharing your expertise, which we really appreciate. but then you're also jumping in and saying, hey, this person has expertise in this area. I want to go learn from them. I'm taking notes. I'm going to go back and learn and see what I can apply to my business. And that opportunity for us to open those doors, again, being, having had offices in, where they were more locally driven, when you wanted to have training, we had a couple of options. We had the agents that were inside of our office right there. And I had great agents. And so they were very talented, and they could teach in the classroom right there in my office to my local agents. But then sometimes we wanted to hear from outside of the local market, or we wanted to expand from people we hadn't heard from yet. And we had to pay for those people. We had to fly them in from somewhere else and pay for their hotel. And some people had a speaking fee, and then we'd bring them in, and we'd have to make a big deal out of it and get a big room. We would go to a hotel and get the ballroom and pay for it. And then, now it costs the agents anywhere from $100 to $200, $300, $400, $500 to have them come in for a 2-day class. And you had to print manuals and do all of those things. It was a big deal to do these classes. So we couldn't do them very often. To get the real talent, to get talent to come in from different markets, we couldn't do it very often. It was expensive. It was kind of a hassle. And then it was expensive for our agents. We had to offset the cost. Right now, we are having 4, 5, and 6 classes every day, live classes, taught by some of the best talent in the industry, and it costs everybody nothing, right? Those top talent that's teaching, it's taking their time, but they're coming and teaching a 1 to 2 hour class, and that's it. And then they're done. And then they get to learn from all of the others. So they're getting fed in return, and the agents get to come take it for free, and everyone can partake, and the company is not expending money into it, which means we just get to return that money in the form of our, the stock options that we give out, and the revenue share and the cap and all that fun stuff. So we get to feed our agents that way.
You must be very proud of the record-breaking growth that we've experienced at eXp Realty over the years. I mean, particularly the last couple of years, it's just been amazing. We're faced in a little bit of a different climate right now. How do we, as eXp Realty, continue to make sure that we build on what we already have? An example is Excel, to grow with and attract agents of a myriad of different experience levels, right? So we have an entry-level agent who's going to have certain needs, and we have seasoned agents who have certain needs to continue to build their businesses. How do we continue to grow in that way? Yeah,
great question. So a couple of things, I believe first and foremost in coming from contribution, right? I mean, that is, we have the opportunity to help other people succeed. That to me, that's what attracted me to this industry in the first place, right? We help other people achieve what they want to achieve. And hey, guess what? We get paid when we do that. And the more people we help, the more successful we are as well. It's that Zig Ziglar mentality, which has always been, on my, LinkedIn profile and everything else from the first day I set it up, right? It's just that whole thing of, in order to succeed, you need to help enough other people succeed. And so that kind of permeates into everything that we are doing from our own agents. The things that we provide to our own agents are good for other agents as well. And that's the same with the revenue share opportunity. You bring other people into the company, you find out, it's always a needs analysis. It's like working with a seller or a buyer. You find out what's important to them and what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve, what their fears are, and everything else. You learn where they want to go and how you can help them get there. And then you show them how you can help them get there. And then you help them get there when they give you permission. And so we take that same approach. And we believe that it's about the relationship. And so you have a relationship with agents. They may be local market, they may be outside of your local market, but you have a relationship there for one reason or another. And you're finding out what their needs are, and then you're looking at what we offer as a company for them, and then how we can help them meet their needs, how we can help them get where they want to go. They may have things they want to learn how to do in their business. They may have things that they want to accomplish. They may need access to certain tools. There may be support, training, it may be the cost structure, it may be the passive income streams, and being able to build wealth, long-term wealth for themselves and their family. So all of those things are, maybe what's important to them. And so understanding those things and sharing with them what those are that we have here, and tying those in and showing them that we can help them, inviting them in, And you have to ask, right? You have to ask for the business. So it's like, hey, are you interested in taking a look at how we might be able to help you reach your goals? Tell me about your goals. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me what you're struggling with. Let me see if I can help you. So that's been the approach that we've taken. And that's part of the reason why just recently we announced, actually this week, that we have opened our doors, right, to eXp World. And we've thrown them wide open for agents from all companies. We feel like we're very blessed with what we have. We have the opportunity to not skip a beat. I mean, other than probably being busier than we've ever been before from a staff standpoint, we haven't had to change the way we do business or the way that we work. We're able to continue doing all the things for our agents we could always do. And so teaching the classes and doing all of those things, that's not something new to us. That's something that's been going on. We've just added more and we've honed them a little bit to today's market. So we want to invite agents who have been impacted by not being able to go into their office for training classes and not being able to have some of those. I know a lot of companies are doing everything they can, right? I mean, they're good companies. They care about their agents. They'll schedule a Zoom class or do whatever, but we're having over 60 classes a week taught by top agents going on live, plus they're all also recorded. So we've got this opportunity. We can direct people as to what's going on in the marketplace. So we have offered this training passport to allow agents from all companies to come in and hang out and come to all of our classes, explore eXp World, and kind of get some safety and security, if you will, as far as what's going on, how to react to today's market, how to set themselves up for success as the market continues to change. So that's one of the primary components that we've provided right now for our agents. Again, this is an opportunity to demonstrate. We being in a virtual environment for a decade, again, not skipping a beat, this is a chance to now reach out to other agents and to share how we operate and what we have and say, look, it may not be the right time for everyone and we may not be right for everyone, and that's okay. However, there may be people out there who are struggling right now, right? Whether it's emotionally, they're just not quite sure how to deal with the changes with everything. Maybe they need help at making adjustments to what's going on out there in the marketplace. Maybe their brokerage had to close, or maybe their brokerage is not able to provide things for them that they normally could provide. And so they need somewhere to go because they need to continue caring for their family regardless of what's happening at the brokerage level. So from the ground up, we have, for new agents, we have new agent training, we have mentors. So every new agent that comes in is assigned a mentor, a top producing agent. Our icons, who are our top producing agents, all agree as part of their kind of, we call it a cultural, fit in with the company as top producing agents, that they're going to turn around and give back to others that are getting started in their careers. And so our icons are our mentors. So you're talking about top producing agents, successful, experienced agents that are mentoring our new agents, and we're seeing a massive, massive increase in the business being done by our new agents, which is really exciting. People able to get started and get into success and closing deals and making money quickly. We also have a fast start program, which takes people through getting into activity quickly. What action should they be taking? How do they get confidence in taking that action and starting to do the activities that get them into working with clients right away? So from the new agents all the way through all of the other classes that I mentioned, a ton of those going on, up through with our icon programs, where our icons get to mastermind with each other and to meet. I know that you guys do plenty of masterminds and meetings as well. We've got cool stuff like XCamp, right? And so we have all of our top agents who get together and collaborate on what things everyone wants to hear about, and then the experts get to jump in and throw what they have, and everyone gets a vote on what do they want to hear about, and then people take turns teaching and sharing and that sort of thing. So a lot of collaboration, a lot of teaching, really driven by our top producing agents who are experts in the field, but also have a heartbeat to serve others and to help. So it goes from new agents all the way through to top agents learning and growing their business.
What I love about this is, and what we're doing as far as opening up our doors, like you said, it makes us stronger as an industry, right? I mean, yes, we all have our different brokerages and different models and things like that. But if you really look at the big picture, we are all one industry. And the better we are, the more informed we are, the more educated, the more we focus on our clients, which is really what our jobs are about, serving our clients at a very high level, then it's going to make our industry so much stronger on the other end of this. So I'm not looking at it from a brokerage to brokerage or a competition standpoint. To me, it's collaboration. It's not competition. And if we can help our fellow agent, no matter where they are, in our city, in our state, in the country, we're all going to be better off as an industry later on down the road. And with our staff, that's another thing that we are so blessed about. We have so much amazing staff. You're talking about how great the agents are. Yeah, our agents are pretty amazing. But we have 600 to 700 employees in the cloud to serve us. So we're serving our clients at a very high level, but we're so fortunate and blessed that we have staff and employees that are with our company that are serving us at a very high level, allowing us to do what we're doing. And other models can't do that. They can't employ that many people. And so that's also giving stability in the industry and their jobs and their livelihoods in the wake of what's going on here. So I have to just applaud our company for that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, really, really well said. Both points. I mean, that was definitely part of that whole thought process of saying, hey, we're in this together, right? And that is, I put that out in the statement around the passport, is that, hey, we're going to power through the changes in the market together, right? And we want, serving the clients is the primary focus, and that requires the agents on both sides of the transactions to work together and to be supporting each other and helping each other. And, we succeed together. So, allowing other people to do the best possible job and supporting that helps everyone. So a big deal for that. From the staffing standpoint, because we haven't skipped a beat and we're all able to operate remotely, social distancing, not a problem for us. And so we're able to continue providing that service without skipping a beat. And it's been really nice. It's been a nice steadying factor for agents when things kind of feel like they're a little bit crazy, and they can still either pop into eXp World, grab a phone call, or chat with someone in workplace and realize that, oh, so you guys are still, nothing's changed. You guys are still able to do everything you could do for us before. And that's been great for us to be able to do that. It's been, the staff has been just rock stars. I mean, it has gotten a little crazy. Big shout out to our brokerage team and our legal team, because they are the ones that are keeping up with all of those changes on a regular basis. And as an agent, it's sometimes hard when you hear conflicting voices and opinions on there about what the latest governor's change and then the NAR and everything else, and how does that impact your business? What can you do and what can't you do? And I am monitoring all of the chats that are going through, and they're going through late at night and early in the morning as these things come through. And as soon as they're passed down, they're immediately getting on it, going through it. Legal team's assessing legally exactly what it means. Broker team is then kind of translating all of that into real estate speak for the agents to understand. And the agents have up to the minute knowledge on exactly what they can and can't do, how it impacts them and their clients, so that they can adjust as quickly as possible.
We feel it. We feel the communication coming down on every platform that we have, and feel as prepared as we can be. I mean, to your point is, as a real estate agent, we have directives coming down on our local level, on our county level, on our, we look at our state level, and then the federal government, and it can be challenging. So I can't even imagine what the legal team is going through all of the markets. It's an interesting time. So we're very grateful to have that additional support and help to navigate through.
One of the things that it's impacted, you mentioned our growth, and during the last downturn, one thing that we saw was people leaving the industry quickly, right? I mean, a lot of people who were, trying to get their business going, or maybe had been working at it for a while and struggled. And so when these things happen, people gave up hope. And really, hope is that driving force that keeps us trying every day, right? You get up and you go after it again, because I've got hope that this is going to work out, that I can do this, that it's going to, this is going to help me provide for my family and drive towards our goals and our dreams, et cetera. And as soon as people lose hope, that's when they step out. And for some, this is a second business, hoping they can make it a first, their primary business or their only business and only job. And, you know, for others, they're at that cusp of whether it's making ends meet or not. And then some have other, you know, other aspirations and goals that they want to build from their real estate career. And what we saw last time was, you know, a fairly quick exodus, and a lot of deer in the headlights. People just didn't move for a while. What's been really gratifying to watch from here is we have had a lot of momentum going into this time, but what we've seen is a negligible change.
Working from home, guys. Sorry.
I know, right? It's the real deal. Probably hear my dogs running and barking in a minute. So, you know, we have had a negligible change in people leaving, right? So it's you know, agents staying because of the hope that they feel when they look at it. You know, when in times of turmoil, people look around, they look to leadership, they look to the partners, they look at the agents around them. And if everyone else is scrambling and fearful, then there's that fear, and then you lose hope. And what I've seen is people looking around and seeing an increase in hope, and excitement and enthusiasm. You know, I mean, nobody's happy about the changes in the market, or nobody's happy about the, you know, the real facts of coronavirus and the impact on human lives. However, from a business standpoint, they look around and say, hey, this doesn't look like something that is going to take away my opportunity to still take care of my family and grow my business. In fact, we're finding more ways that we can go do this. And so there's that increased hope. So we're both seeing people lean in and get more engaged and feel more hopeful about building their business right now. At the same token, we are starting to see people who maybe saw us as kind of a cool oddity of, hey, this virtual brokerage thing looks kind of neat, but I kind of need my bricks and mortar. I need my physical location. Even the people that don't go into their offices very much still kind of wanted to hang on to the physical location. And all of those people now are forced into not being able to access the bricks and mortar. And they're going, I can do business without it. I don't need it. And you guys are built to operate like this without skipping a beat. And so we are seeing an actual increase in agents moving to eXp and a decrease of people leaving the company. And at the same token, the number of independent brokerages who are looking and saying, how do we thrive as a broker owner? How do we thrive in a changed market like this? And they're seeing our model as a way for them to go to the next step in their own businesses, and you know, how to drive that and to provide for their own agents who they care about. And they say, I can't care for my people the way that I want to in this changed market. And so how do I provide them with a safe landing place that doesn't also take away my opportunity to thrive and succeed as a business owner? And so we've seen a massive increase in the phone calls that we're getting and people reaching out that are independent brokerage owners. We've got a great opportunity to help them. We can allow them to really go to the next step, continue to drive passive income and wealth for themselves without all the risk, and actually get some time back in their lives. So good opportunity for broker owners. Tons of agents that are reaching out to us now that have said, hey, now what you were doing makes sense to me, where before I kind of looked at it funny. Yeah. Combine that with the people that are sticking around and leaning into their business. It's an exciting time for us.
We have a couple questions,
Shoot.
Dave, Conord, that we've been asking all of our guests, and I'm super excited to hear what your reply is. So the first question is, you know that we use, as eXp Realty agents, a very common hashtag eXp Realty Proud. What are you, Dave, eXp Realty proud of?
Oh man. Okay. How much more time do we have? I can rattle off a huge list of things. I would say right now, you know, we talk about our culture, right? And culture is one of the most overused words in probably the corporate and business environment. You know, everyone's got their culture that they focus in on. We have our core values that we talk about who we are and everything else. What I have seen during this time has been an absolute linking of arms of our agents to support each other and to hold tight to our values. And times like this, times of crisis, they say that it makes you, right? It can make you or break you or whatever. And it's the same thing they say about money and power and all of those things. But I think more than anything else, it reveals you. You are who you are, and you have an opportunity for everything else to be kind of shaved away, and you're laid bare as to who you are, and you're really going to show up. And we're showing up. So the agents at eXp are leaning in. They're showing their resiliency, but they're showing their care for each other and helping each other out and driving forward and saying, hey, we're going to go succeed, and we're going to go do it together. And I'm seeing that. I expected to see it, but at the level that I'm seeing it, I just stand back and watch it, and I'm extremely proud.
Great answer.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I love it.
I agree with you 100%. So that's why it's such a great answer. But yeah, it's not only we're going to succeed and we're going to do this together, but it's also how can we help you? I've seen that with so many people just reaching out. How can we help you authentically? It's pretty awesome. Instead of reacting in fear, they're reacting in a very different way that's indicative of what our culture is about.
For sure. Yeah.
Renee, any questions we have? I know we have one.
We have one more. You're going to go with it?
Do it.
All right. So Dave, in 3 words or less, what does eXp Realty mean to you?
Oh man. All right. So I've gone through some exercises of my own, but do my own core values and that kind of stuff. I always do that when I'm kind of, each year I go through an exercise to kind of plan the year ahead. And what's always come out first for me and driving for me is family. Family is one of the most important things for me personally. My personal family, my wife and my 2 daughters, my extended family, even my furry children, my dogs.
Which we haven't heard, unlike my doorbell.
Yeah, they've been really good.
If you've watched previous videos, Elizabeth's fire alarm went off a few videos ago.
Oh my gosh.
My fire alarm, kids are stop, dropping, and rolling. I'm just smiling with it muted.
That's right. No idea. Chaos. Things are burning behind you. It's all good. It's all good. That's right. Yes. Unflappable.
That's right.
So family to me is a big thing, and the connection to the staff and the agents, we really are. I took 30 minutes out. Things are crazy and all that kind of stuff, and I got a message and said, "Hey, can you come meet us on the soccer field?" And so Jason Gessing and Stacy Annan and Jim Newth and I blocked off a half hour, went out on the soccer field and jumped into our World Cup championship game today, and played on the 2 teams. And I was horrible, and I did not help at all. But I was out there running around, and and we had fun doing it, and everyone's laughing. And it was Canada versus, oh my gosh, I should know this because this was my team. I also want to say it was Kansas. It was Kansas and Canada. So I was on Team Kansas, and we lost. Canada killed us. They did great.
Oh man.
But a virtual soccer game out there. The best part was that it was a bunch of agents and staff running around together virtually and just laughing and having fun in a time that we're this little more stress and tension and concern, that everyone's kind of cooped up, and it was a great time to just be together. So family is key. I think fun is another big one, because we are having a lot of fun together. And I think that, when you're with people that you care about and you're having fun in doing it, what comes out of that are results. And, I don't know if results is the right word or not, but, in the end, driving toward success, you'll see, on Facebook and throughout workplace recently, you'll see I've got a picture, and actually Gusty Goulas, one of our new mega agents out of Alabama, started this whole concept. We're the #1 independent brokerage in the United States right now. We just got, found that information out, and we're driving towards #1 in all of the key categories. And so I've got a picture, the #1.
That was a great photo
out there. Thank you. My daughter took that, so I'll use the portrait mode on my iPhone. And
it was great. You get the I Heart eXp.
Of course, right? Had to have the I Heart eXp shirt on, and but that that to me, I think when you're having fun with the people that you care about, we're also focused on getting after results. So we're not just hanging out, having fun. Yes, we're hanging out having fun, but it's with a purpose, and we're enjoying what we're doing, and that's driving us towards. You can see how we moved, to the number 3 spot, right? And in our in our closed transactions and everything else. So, as we're moving up in all of the polls and all the industry standards, and we continue every year to leap farther and farther ahead in what we're producing, it shows that we're not about a body count. It shows that we're not just about goofing around or being some techie, whatever, and all that, because we are a real estate company that is attracting rock star real estate talent, and we are leading the industry in so many areas. And it's, we're not just doing well, but we are like, we're in 6th gear right now. We are flying ahead of the competition. So other people's like, yep, they've been in this place, they've been in this place, they've been in this place. Meanwhile, we've been moving all the way across and just speeding past. And so that to me is exciting. So family, fun, and results.
Results. I love it. And in all that speediness going on, I know that you all of leadership and all the staff has been so incredibly busy right now. So we're very grateful that you took time to chat with Elizabeth and I. It was a great chat, and we so appreciate you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You could tell I'm the Northeast guy too, because I'm talking a mile a minute too.
I just want to know, when are we going to get a lacrosse field on eXp World? Lacrosse family to lacrosse family.
Exactly. I'm working on it. I'm working on with Verbella.
I know, right?
I said, our boys play lacrosse. I mean, my son, my little one that plays lacrosse, actually, when we were doing our conversations today, he got all excited. He's like, "Oh, Mom, I want to play your game." I was like, no. Mommy's teaching. He's like, "Can I make it dance? Can I do something?" But if you got lacrosse, then I can at least get him to focus on something more than just, running around our world all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, this right here, this is my dad's stick. My dad played at Cornell.
Aww.
And so that's my dad's lacrosse stick when he played in college. So
that's so cool.
My helmet over here. So yeah, we're big lacrosse family. Would love to get a lacrosse field out there. I'll see if I'll talk to Alex. At Verbella.
He's not that busy right now. I know.
Right. Yeah,
hey,
good stuff going on.
Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for stepping in. Not even just now, but anytime we ask. And if there's anything Renee and I could ever do, just say the word and we're there.
I appreciate that. I appreciate all that you guys are doing. You exemplify so much leadership in our company as well. So really appreciate it. Big shout out to you guys for all you're doing, and keep doing it, and let us know what we can do for you as well.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks everybody. Have a great afternoon.